It's our last day in the Bahamas as we get off the dock and set sail over 400 miles to Charleston, South Carolina. Things started off really great, but soon we had problems. We had an exhaust leak that threatened the whole journey.
We are disconnected from shore power, paid the bill, all that stuff. So it is time to let go of the dock lines and get moving. You ready?
I am.
How you feeling today?
I'm freaking tired.
Yeah.
Yeah. That beach party yesterday and the sun. And
Yeah, that'll do it. Okay. Let me get some lines undone here.
I'd spent the last 4 months in the Bahamas, but it was time to say goodbye and head back to the U.S.
really tired this morning. We had a little too much fun yesterday.
We got off the dock and a couple of our other friends were leaving on their boats at the same time. We headed through the Sea of Abaco into the Gulf Stream and then headed north. It was about 400 miles and about 50 some odd hours up to Charleston.
All right, we're underway. About 12 knots of breeze, 11, 12. I didn't want to put the sails out now because we just have to jibe here in a minute. So once we get turned on our proper heading, we'll put some sails out and see what happens. Might be a good spinnaker day, I'm not sure. But the problem is I think we're going to be pretty close to dead downwind, which is not, you can't really sail straight downwind, which would, just makes it more difficult. So we'll see. I don't know.
We just take for granted. We forget.
Turn into the wind so I can raise the mizzen, and then we'll turn back and sail back out.
Our ability to
listen to your heart and see whether you actually enjoy doing it.
Bobby's
If you love
making
what
you
you
listen
do,
to some boring podcasts.
so much easier.
I raised the mizzen sail and unfurled the Genoa, and we were sailing. The wind was behind us at about 17 knots, and we were moving right along at nearly 7.
Hanging out in my underwear. With some puppies.
We were all settled in for a 2-day sail back to the United States. Our friend Bob was catching up to us in his motor yacht. He was headed back to Florida. Our friends Lee and Nikki were buddy boating with us on their Leopard 48 catamaran all the way to Charleston.
All right, move right along. We're just sailing now. I got the motor off. We're doing almost 7 knots. It's on 15, 16 knots of breeze. I don't even have the main up, so we're just on the mizzen and the Genoa. I mean, really anything over 15 knots, you don't need the main up. That's just too much sail. So I'd be reefing it anyway. May not be quite as efficient, but whatever. But we're keeping pace with, there's a Leopard 48 catamaran. That'd be Riptide, Lee and Nikki. They're right over there. So anyway, we got about 25 more miles in the Sea of Abaco, and then we turn north. I'm hoping the swell isn't too big out there, because the way the wind's coming here, it's not really super well protected in here. So like, I'm hoping that's just the way it is out there too. but we'll see. And then we're going to head for the Gulf Stream, so we're going to head a little bit west. Instead of doing, the rum line straight to Charleston, we're going to head a little west to get into the Gulf Stream, and then straight up, because, we can get an extra up to 4 knots, which, 4 knots doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're doing 6, and then you get to 4, so add 4, you're doing 10 knots, you're going to cut your time almost in half sailing up. So, anyway, that's what we're doing now. Right, we're about to leave the Bahamas, so this is Walker's Key. It is like the most northern Bahamian island, and it's where I checked into the Bahamas 4 months ago. So kind of full circle here, coming back to Walker's Key. Well, we're just passing by it. We're gonna keep on going. So now in the Bahamas, you used to have to check out of the Bahamas. Now you just leave. It's like the way you do it in the U.S. You don't actually check out of the U.S. anymore. Or, anyway. But so we got about 5 or 6 miles here until we get outside the reef at the north end here of the Sea of Abaco, and then we will head generally northwest to get in the Gulf Stream, and then go straight north up to Charleston, riding in the Gulf Stream. Weather is cooperating. The wind was up to 15, 16 for a while. We were making 6, 7 knots, or close to, over 7 sometimes. Now it's dropped off for like 10 or 11, 12, and we're doing like 5.5. So, but nice and easy. Hopefully the sea state when we get outside the Sea of Abaco is much similar to this. That'd be nice. So that's sailing Riptide up there. They're about 3/4 mile ahead of us now. They started off about half a mile ahead of us. When the wind's up, we're the same speed, but in the lighter winds, they're a little faster. They're probably a little bit lighter than we are, so it makes a difference. But when we have enough wind, our waterline makes up for it. But there's a little drilling rig right here. And I hope there's lights on that. I don't know if there are. Because, it's just clearly marked on the chart, but...
freed from their holes long ago, lying face up on the floor of my vessel. I marvel at the stars and feel my heart overflow.
It's hot down here cooking. Going upstairs.
Without my lover, I'm in this boat alone, floating.
All right, we're moving right along. We're in the Gulf Stream now, doing 10 knots. There's only 12 knots of breeze, so we're getting pushed by it. We're motor sailing just because. Why not? Let's just get there, you know what I mean? Because we'd be doing probably 2 knots slower if we weren't motor sailing. So I'd rather just do 2 knots and then, we're there tomorrow morning. But so we're doing 10 knots on the Gulf Stream, pretty nice. And the other boat is right behind us. Lee and Nikki on their Riptide. They have a Leopard 48. So, but I didn't get much. I slept for like maybe an hour last night. I let Jennifer sleep most of the time. I only made her stay watch for like 2 hours. But it's like 5:30 right now, and as soon as at 6 o'clock I'm gonna go down for, she can stay up for 3 hours, and I'm gonna go sleep. But I took most of the night shift, so. Not much going on today. We're just kind of motoring. The wind turned. It's coming out of the north a little bit now, northeast. I wasn't scheduled to do that, but it's only like 4 or 5 knots, so the Gulf Stream's not too bad. It's a little choppy. Like here, you can kind of moving up and down, but whatever. We're still doing 10 and a half knots, so we got about another 150 miles to go or something. We'll have at least half of that in the Gulf Stream, maybe like 90 miles in the Gulf Stream, and then the last 60 miles will be out of it. So we'll slow down a little at that point, but we're still expecting to get there tomorrow, mid-morning, maybe midday, before noon, I hope. But I would turn the camera around, but put a dog over you or something. There you go. Hi, how's your sail?
Last night was a little rough, what with the winds and what was it? I was feeling a little sick for the first time in my life. But
yeah.
Other than that, it's been peaceful out here.
Yeah, so it was
Hard to sleep for sure.
well, it was so it was no moon, and so when you're sitting in here in a dark cockpit and you're rolling and all that, it can if you can't see the horizon, you can get a little seasick sometimes. So.
Yeah, made it really hard to sleep.
Yeah, I only slept maybe a total of 3 hours so far. So I was sleeping this afternoon, and this guy woke me up. Yeah, I just woke you up from a nap. Okay, turnabout's fair play. Okay, but anyway. All right, so there is a front moving through about 6 in the morning. It's moving really fast, so it won't last very long, but that means it might be some strong winds, but I'll be ready for it. But now I'm gonna make dinner.
Check out Jennifer's Instagram. She's a pretty woman and has lots of her modeling pictures on her Instagram.
Change your ways while you're young.
All right, well, typical, dealing with something. I think I have a slight exhaust leak here. I know I do. So in here, this is the exhaust elbow that comes up here and then loops back down. It's leaking exhaust and water right in here. I already pulled the floor out on that. I just put it back to maybe contain some of the water and the exhaust underneath it. I didn't want to pull it out because the hose already has a cut in it, and if I mess with that hose too much, it's going to make it rip even more. So, so I just tell everybody, you only come down to get food, I told Jennifer, only come down to get food or whatever. We're sleeping up there just because there is an exhaust leak now in the cabin. Hopefully it doesn't get any worse. I don't think it will, but I mean, we're still 12-14 hours from the marina, so if it did totally rupture, I would have to shut the engine down, and I could probably duct tape it back together for a while, but I'd rather not do that. I'd rather just get there and replace the hose. It just chafed through, kind of wore, I guess vibrated enough that it wore off and rubbed a hole in it. Pretty sure it's just the wet exhaust, so it's got the exhaust coming from the engine, the carbon monoxide and all that stuff, and then you got the wet exhaust, which is it goes through the heat exchanger. It takes raw seawater and it pushes it through the heat exchanger, which cools all the engine, the coolant system, and then it mixes it sends that hot water through a little loop, and it comes back down and it cools it off and sends it out with the exhaust. And I believe it's the wet exhaust that is leaking, which is good. That means because I don't really think there's any carbon. I mean, I can smell a little bit in there, but I don't think there's too much actual exhaust coming in. It's just the wet exhaust. So yeah, so anyway, not too big a deal, just kind of whatever. It's dropping all that water into the bilge, which whatever, you got bilge pumps. I got several of them running, so should be fine.
By morning, the conditions had improved a little bit and we were able to sail again.
The wind has turned around a little bit and I am sailing now. So got about 30 miles to go. So about 5 hours. And well, that's before I enter the channel at Charleston, and then it'll be I think it's another 4 or 5 miles up in there to get there. So we got like 6 hours to go or something.
We had a nice little treat that morning. We had a pod of dolphins swim with us for a while. It's really cool being out on the bowsprit looking straight down at the dolphins.
of the time. Dreams are what they used to be. Some things slide by so carelessly. Smile like you mean it. Smile like you mean it.
All right, we're just a few miles from Charleston. Yeah, by the time you get up all the way in the bay there, it's another 5 or 6 miles. So we still got at least an hour probably till we get to the dock because there's a long channel entering in. The Genoa, so you can see it's like it's kind of rippling up by the stay there. That's because the tack of the sail, there's a shackle that connects to the furler, and somehow that shackle came undone the other day. And I was able to pull it down, but I had, I gotta basically wait till there's no wind and unfurl the sail and pull it back down tight, and then readjust the halyard on it. But I got to do that when like there's no wind and we're not moving. But anyway, I just tied a rope on there to get it set for now, and then once we get into light winds or I can undo that, I'll fix it. So if you are looking for some sails for your boat, there's a link in the description to Persistent Sails. You can use my discount code. Get some new sails for your boat. These sails are 6 years old and they're looking great. They got at least 4 or 5 years out of them probably. Good sails should last at least 10 years, and they can even last longer if you take good care of them. So when we get there too, I'm also gonna patch my dinghy so it won't have a limp dinghy anymore. That'd be nice. And there's some other things I need to fix on the dinghy too. But the main thing is I've just been deferring all the maintenance because I don't have access to the equipment I need. But now in here in Charleston, I rented a car so I can go to all the marine stores and get all the stuff I need. I need to fix the fuel pump on the generator. Got the dinghy. I got the sail. I got the exhaust hose. I got a lot of stuff that I need to fix on the boat that I just don't have the parts for, but I will do. We'll have the access to them.
I'm good. What, after like 50 hours of sailing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready to dock.
You ready to go?
Nice shower.
Yeah.
My feet on land.
I'm sure these guys are ready for some land time too.
Looks like it's my rain this season though.
Oh yeah. That's all right. We'll be at the dock, so we won't have to worry about it. We can get air conditioning.
Yeah, I'm definitely ready for that.
Yeah, and it'll be beer 30 when we get there too. Although I'll probably just have one and go to sleep. I'm tired. I only got like 3 hours of sleep the last 2 nights. One thing you don't realize when you're pulling into Charleston, like, oh, we're finally almost here, and then you realize it's 8 miles from the inlet to the marina, and then also we got like 3 knots of current, so we're only doing 4.5 knots. 4 knots. So yeah, it's gonna take us like over an hour and a half, close to 2 hours just to get to the marina. And then, but it's kind of cool. You go right by Fort Sumter over here, famous from the Civil War, I believe. You can really see the current working against us, pushing on the marker buoys. It was interesting passing by Fort Sumter. It was the first shots of the American Civil War, April 12th, 1861.
And someone will drive her around down the same streets that I did, on the same streets that I did.
Well, we're moving at the same speed as the wind, so it's hot. It's 87 degrees and 0 wind, so we're just baking here. We're almost there. Just another 3/4 of a mile and we'll be docked and we can get in the AC and shower and get cleaned up.
Beautiful houses.
Yeah. I mean, look at this. This is ridiculous. This wake right here, this wake is going to be absolutely massive because what the fuck, man? That's like the worst speed that boat can go for the wake. If something breaks in here, I'm gonna be pissed. And now he slows down. He slows down 50 feet passing us. What a jerk. Thanks for that wake. Appreciate it. I mean, what a the guy could. I mean, he slowed down. He passed us, and in 50 feet he slowed down, and his wake went away. What a
I might have been a little cranky from sleep deprivation.
All right, we're all set on the dock. I have done the paperwork on the app so you do the CBP roll map on your phone, and then you enter all the details, and then they just check you in online. So most time they don't really need to see anything from you, but it is officially beer 30 now.
Good, we got some to the Bahamas still with it.
Yeah. Oh.
And
Well, cheers.
cheers. We made it.
Yep.
All right, guys, just a couple quick things here. Number one, I'm thinking about selling the CT. So I should have my cat by the end of the year. I still have one more trip to sail on this boat. So in the next few videos, we're gonna sail the boat up into the Chesapeake, park the boat for a little bit. And then in September, we're gonna sail up Long Island Sound and do Block Island, Martha's Vineyard, and get the boat back to Annapolis for the boat show in October. And actually, you're gonna see an Island Spirit 52, the new catamaran, in Annapolis. So I would love for you guys to come see my new boat. It's gonna be hull number 3 there in Annapolis. I'm getting to 5. It should be there by the end of the year. If you would like to come see the boat, the Island Spirit 525 in Annapolis, click the link in the description to set an appointment. You will be able to walk through it without an appointment, but it's going to be a madhouse because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people. So if you're really interested in buying it and you want more information, have somebody talk to you and walk around with you, I will be there happily to talk to you as well. So I'd love to see you in Annapolis for that, to see my new boat. Make an appointment to make sure you get to see the boat. That being said, if you are interested in the CT56, because after that, I'm no longer going to actually need the CT. I don't want to own 2 boats. That's just too much. So I'm thinking about selling it. I think it's worth about $200,000. So you can email me, Bobby at Sailing Doodles, if you're interested in that. I'm either going to sell it outright, or I might do a raffle, kind of like spirit animal, although I'm a little concerned with doing that because it costs quite a bit of money to set that up, and I wouldn't want to lose money on it because I don't know. Anyway, so I'm kind of debating on it. I'll tell you what, if you're really interested in it, send me an email and I'll do that rather than a raffle type thing. But there you go. So those 2 points of order there. I'd love to see you in Annapolis. Come see the new boat. If you want to buy the CT, happy to sell it to you. Over half of the people, including myself, when I watch YouTube, I watch it on TV. So over half of the people that watch YouTube watch it on TV. It makes it hard to subscribe. So if you are watching it on your TV and you're subscribed in, just click the up arrow on your remote once. It'll bring up the menu. Hit it again. It'll highlight subscribe, and then hit the enter button and you're subscribed. Otherwise, there's a QR code popping up there that you can scan with your phone, and it'll bring up the YouTube app to the Sailing Doodles page, and then you can just hit subscribe there. It's an easy and free way to support the channel. Thank you so much, guys. And if you'd like to take that extra step and get bonus content, early videos, behind the scenes videos, all that stuff, I mean, they've already known about the boat stuff for a while. You can become a patron or join the Sailing Doodles Navy or become a channel member, and you get those extra benefits. So thank you guys for all the patrons and all you guys for making this possible. Thank you for subscribing, and we'll see you on the next video.